What's up, gang, and welcome back to the channel. This is Tipsy Talk, and I'm your host, Billy Collins. On this episode, I get the pleasure to talk to one of the most funniest, charming magicians out. His name is David McCreary, and we discuss everything from magic to hairbands. That's right, I said hairbands. So guys, before we start, do me a favor. Go ahead and press that subscribe button. You're going to see that down below. You'll see a notification bell. That will notify you when I have up and coming videos. I don't want you to miss one of them. So guys, please smash it for me. Enough with me ranting. Let's get to the interview. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Tipsy Talk. My name is Billy Collins, and on this episode, my special guest today, if I had to categorize him, I don't think I could, because he's a magician, he's a comedian, he's an MC, he's a speaker, he's a youth pastor, he's a father, he's everything wrapped up in one. But if I was at gunpoint and had to categorize him, I would say he is a charismatic and charming entertainer. My guest this week, guys, is Mr. Dave McCreary. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. That was awful nice. You got every word right, just like I wrote it.
Okay, very good, very good.
And
thank you for thanks for doing this for me. You know how highly I think of you and how great you are and whatever you do.
I appreciate it. I think highly of you too.
So I think you're the. I see a lot of comedy magicians, and I know it's supposed to be taboo to be comedy magicians, but you literally make me laugh every time I watch you. And it just not just laughing, like stupid laughing, like can't breathe laughing. So I appreciate that.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much.
So Dave, we're going to go ahead and jump into the, and we're going to start your tab. You ready to start your tab for this?
I'm absolutely ready. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So Dave, if you talk about yourself, who is David McCreary?
Oh, that's a man. Wow. We're starting deep.
We're getting deep, buddy. I mean, this is bones.
All right. So David McCreary is, I think, just a fun guy. I try to be as fun and carefree as possible. Sometimes that's tough. But I really care about making sure people are having fun when they're around me. And depending on who you ask, like my wife, while we've been quarantined, she told me, she's like, this has shown me that I really don't mind being around you. And she literally said those words. So there are times when my sense of humor or my fun can be annoying to at least her. But I just think laughter is important. And if I can be the one to bring laughter and joy to somebody, then I'm all for it. And I think that's one reason why I don't mind being up in front of people and talking and performing. A lot of people, like my wife, there's no way she will ever get in front of anybody to talk, or any video I do, she doesn't want to be involved. It just terrifies her. And I think part of the issue why people are afraid to get up in front of other people is they're going to screw something up and they're going to look stupid. And if I screw something up and look stupid, as long as it gets a laugh, I don't care. So I'm fine with getting up in front of people and put me in front of somebody, and I'm happy for the whole time I'm up there for whatever reason.
Are you a type of person that see me? I'm more comfortable in front of 10,000 people.
Yep.
But you put me in a group with 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I'm just not there.
It's funny you say that. I've actually mentioned that in a message I've done before, where I'm good. You put me up in front of a room of like a comedy club, and I'm at home, but you throw me in with 2 or 3 people, and I'm gonna do something stupid. I can give you an example.
Yeah, please do.
And it's not really a conversation. It was just something that just awkwardness can happen with me when I'm not with a lot of people or with just a few people. I was having a crown put in. Like I busted a tooth and they had to put a crown in. So they had the temporary one in there at the time. And so I go into this dentist, and my dentist isn't there. It's a dentist filling in for her. And he's a young, good looking guy. And his dental hygienist, his assistant, is a really attractive young girl. And so they both are just young and hip and good looking. And, you're already vulnerable because you're laying there with your mouth open and they're looking up your nose. And I'm just trying to be as cool as possible around these two. Well, he goes to he's already taken the fake one out or the temporary one out, and he's putting the real one in. And as he's putting it in, I bumped it with my tongue. It's just holding it with tweezers. I bumped it with my tongue, and it shot straight down the back of my throat. And it felt it right there. So I jump up like this, and I swing up like this, and I knock the tool out of his hand. I hit her in the face, and I sat there, no joke, for 3 minutes going, oh my God, it's right there. And my eyes are watering, and these two are just staring at me, and they're not helping at all, because he looks like, I'm thinking if it's okay for me to just swallow it and we'll make another one, he would say, just let it go. Because it's right, and I can feel it rolling around back there. And and finally I go, and it pops out onto my hand, and I said, I got it. Just like that. And he goes, I'm glad you didn't swallow that. He said, we probably would have had to try to figure out how to get it out.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know if that's true or not, if you really have to, but for 2 solid minutes, every time I hacked, it just kind of rolled around back there. I'm like, this is awful. This is embarrassing. And then, but now it's given me a story, and I'm okay with it. But
that's funny. I mean,
it was not cool at the time. It was bad.
I feel like a lot of comedy comes from true life, and once you incorporate it, and people associate that with, they're like, oh, I've been there before, I've done that. So
right.
It's fantastic. That's funny stuff.
Yeah, turn my phone off. Yeah, so I'm really goofy when it comes to like 1-on-1 and 1-on-2 or 3, unless I got a deck of cards in my hand, then I'm fine.
Right. But yeah, that's a little different story.
And I'm terrible with names. It embarrasses me how bad I am with names. I've got the joke that like if I bring somebody on stage and I forget their name, I'll tell them that I really am bad at names. That's why I got my wife's name there. And I tell them that I called her wifey for the first 3 years, and she was catching on, so I had to put it on my arm. And I'm no joke. My next tattoo is going to be right here. I've got like 3 planned, one for my stepson, one for my son, and then one, just this one. It's honest to goodness, I'm just going to have text that says "bad with names," so that it's something I can do. And that, because that's
fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to get it done bad. But I'll show you. I'm going to stand up so I can turn this down so you can see this tattoo. I'm kind of happy with it. Let's see if I can try to see this. So her name is Tabitha. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like
yeah.
Tabatha. And then this way, it says, I'm trying to get that just right, till death. It's a TIL.
Oh, that's really cool.
DH. Yeah, it took me like 5 minutes to come up with that.
Oh, I'm glad you put the work in.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. So before we get started and with any more questions, just go ahead and say, what are you drinking right now?
I made a whiskey sour.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm really not a huge drinker. But I don't mind having a drink every once in a while.
Cocktail every now and then.
Yeah. I don't like drunk people.
I don't either. I did.
Yeah.
So I'm doing walk around at a local restaurant just until everything gets back and going, just to grab anything I can get. And the later the night goes, the worse it is, because
I can imagine.
It's brutal to watch people just throw your cards around. You're like, oh, please don't.
Yeah. So. Yep. And I feel bad saying I don't like drunk people. I don't like people when they're drunk. Maybe that makes me feel a little better.
Look, I've been a bartender for 15 years. I do not like drunk people.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you this. I don't know if it's not a commercial because I'm not making any. That's what I have in it instead of maple syrup, this caged heat stuff it adds spice to it. It
gives you that little punch in the face kick.
It's got good kick to it. And I like stuff that's spicy that you wouldn't think is supposed to be spicy, like candy that's spicy or, anything jalapeno flavored. It's fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
See, I think you'd be great on Hot Ones. I don't know if you've seen that show. Hot Ones.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. So I'm 48 years old, but I consider myself to be like a man child.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you feel that way too?
Yeah.
I mean, we're similar in age. I think.
Yeah. I'll be 50 next July.
Okay.
So yeah. I'm a child, and that's part of the joy and the fun and the laughter. And there's times when I think I am way too old to be acting like this or to be interested in this or to think this is funny. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm never going to be I'm never going to act my age ever.
I don't think so either. I got a 16-year-old son, and I'll do some lunacy, and he'll be like, "Are you ever going to grow up?" I was like, "I hope not."
Yep.
I hope not.
Well, it's that old saying that growing old is inevitable, growing up is optional.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am not.
Maybe I'll get that tattooed. I need to get something on my,
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's a great saying. So.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you consider yourself more a magician or more a comedian?
I've had that question asked before, and I'm not sure how to answer it. How about this? You saw my stand-up show. Did you see the Penguin Lecture? What would you say? What would you think?
Dave, when I wrote this question down, I really legitimately had a hard time because you were so incredibly funny. Like, it's just it's your material, but on top of that is your laughter. Like when you laugh at your own stuff, it just it's contagious and it just makes people laugh. So, but your magic is, I think your magic is somewhat hidden, and I don't think people understand the talent because you have so much comedy to it. But you're an incredible magician.
Well, thanks.
I mean, you're phenomenal at the stuff and the way you create and come up with stuff is just, I think, is top notch. So, I mean, me being a magician myself, I would probably put you a magician first and then comedian. But if anyone else saw it, it'd be more or less comedian and magician.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I've done straight stand-up before, but I just haven't focused on it. I'd like to do more of it, but the stand-up that I do is always magic is the central part of it. So I would say it's, although when people, so here's the issue, like I don't do kids shows. I love kids, but I just haven't done many kids shows. And I've tried with what I do and try and gear it towards kids, and they don't like it. So when people ask me to do a show that I know is going to be a public show or they're going to invite the public, I tell them that maybe you should advertise me as a comedian, and then we'll surprise them with the magic. Just because when you see magician, a lot of times people are going to like, all right, let's take the kids. And not that kids couldn't be to my show. It's completely clean, but it's definitely not, it's geared towards adults and older teens. So I like the idea of being considered a comedian, but I don't want to get rid of the magic part, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, because I think it's, for you, it complements you extremely well. I mean, you have a great mixture of the two combined.
Well, thanks.
And yeah, I don't know if I would change anything. I mean, it's all good.
And I'm missing it, man. I am missing.
Oh God, me too.
In front of people. I can't get into the Zoom shows. I mean, I have nothing against them. I need to be standing next to somebody, having fun, cracking jokes. And yeah.
And when I was talking to Matt last week, he was saying the same thing. He's like, I just miss it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I find myself becoming lazy.
Yeah.
He said, I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I feel the same way sometimes.
Bad. It drives me crazy. And I've been working on some memorized deck stuff lately just because I just need to keep messing with cards. I don't want to not mess with them for a while, but yeah, my family has seen everything. So I don't have much of an audience. My stepson came over the other day and he's got a new girlfriend, and I had a chance to show her some card stuff, and it was nice to be performing in front of somebody who hadn't seen anything yet. So I'm ready to get back to it.
Yeah, I agree. And look, I'm getting ready to see you, wanting to see you perform whatever. So
yeah, I want to so bad.
I know it's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah. And I miss traveling. I was traveling with, started speaking at high schools and middle schools. And I was doing a lot of traveling with that. I didn't want to do any real traveling with this kind of stuff until my kid graduated. So my kid graduated a couple years ago. So now I can get out and travel more and not feel like I'm missing out on things. And I was really enjoying it. Loved traveling, loved flying into new cities. And obviously that all stopped when this went on. We'll get back to it.
We'll get there. And I think at our age that we kind of deserve that opportunity to do it. So hopefully we'll be right back at it.
That's right.
So when did the actual entertainment bug bite you? When did you know you had the talent and you wanted to do this?
So I have I don't know if I have videos. I've seen old videos. I don't know where they are now, of me doing some miming stuff in my aunt's basement, like at a family get together. Me and my cousin had seen a mime probably at a church, and we were reenacting his stuff. And I was probably 12 or 13 at the time. And just the people laughing made me think, wow, this is cool. I like this. But all through high school, I was pretty quiet. I was kind of a nerd. And yeah, kind of a nerd. I mean, I had friends and stuff, but I was just I wasn't the class clown or anything like that. And then my senior year, I started growing my hair out. Like when I met my wife, my hair was almost to my belt. I mean, all around. It was late 80s, so I was into the hairbands, and that's what I looked like. That's actually what she saw first when we got together. I walked into the wedding rehearsal dinner, and she saw the guy with long hair, and I got off topic.
No, it's fine. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. So it won her over. She's upstairs now. She's still with me. Lucky her.
Oh, she's a lucky lady.
Yeah, I know. I can say that because she can't hear me right now.
I saw your I just saw when I was looking up some of your stuff. I saw the picture that you just posted of "My Wife Is Hot," and you saw the flames.
Yeah. We got a big old fire pit out back that we had that. I like a big fire. Just looks cool in a picture.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So anyways, I was, so I didn't really get into magic. I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach at Barefoot Landing in Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Conley's, I think.
Ron Conley's shop. That's where I actually got my first magic trick.
Me too.
I it was some ridiculous, like, extravagant trick, and Ron said, let's why don't we just start with something different?
Right.
So
that's awesome. Yeah, I walked in, saw the guy doing some stuff, and thought there were like 12 people standing around him, and I thought I wanted people to pay attention to me like that. So, and I wanted to know how to do the tricks. So I had to buy the tricks, brought them back to Columbus, did them. I was working at Ticketmaster at the time, started doing those 2 tricks for people there at Ticketmaster. And one of the guys there said, there's a magic shop right around the corner, right? And there was, like, down the street and around the corner in an office complex was a magic shop. I started going. It's the one hobby that stuck, buying videos. So this is 1991-ish. And the hobby, or the magic stuck. And I ended up getting a job at a place called Lucent Technologies, where we built circuit packs for phones, or circuit packs that make cell phones work. And I forgot what I was talking about. You can edit this part out, right? The brain fade.
Yeah, okay, I can take it all out. The brain parts can go.
That's right. I was doing magic for people there, and they came up to me one day and knew that I say they, like higher ups, came to me and said they'd seen me do magic, and they asked if I would be interested in doing emceeing a big event they were having for the employees. And I said, yeah, sure. And I realized then, I said, okay, if I'm going to MC something, then I have to have bits. MCs have bits. So what I need to do is take this close-up stuff that I'm doing and see what tricks play bigger and I can get jokes out of. And so that's how I got started doing like the stand-up stuff, is just because that MC show that I did. And it was a cool time.
It just spawned from there.
Yeah.
From there, huh?
Yeah. And at the time I was also on like a TV show called TVU's 10 Most Wanted. It was a small video music show, Christian rock music. And I was the host of one of their countdown shows. And it was an awesome show. We had a blast where it was an hour long, and in between songs we would do bits, and it was kind of like a Talk Soup meets TRL type of thing. So that also helped push me towards being in front of people and having fun.
To get that exposure.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That's really cool. So what's your creativity when it comes to creating a show? What's that like? Do you switch your shows often, or do you?
Not as much as I should, man. It frustrates me. And I wonder if it's because I do a bunch of stuff. I know that sounds weird, but I got the game show that I host in Ohio. I'm on staff at my church, part-time staff, where my job is just to make people laugh on Sunday morning. I don't even have a title.
That's the best job ever.
It's pretty cool. It throws a lot of people off, and I'm not doing Jesus jokes or anything like that. We just get up there and have fun. We may play a game. We may do, I don't know, whatever. We've done lip sync battles where at church on Sunday morning, the first lip sync battle we did, I did Nothing But a Good Time by Poison and Look
Oh, yeah.
Away by Chicago. So that's kind of fun we have at my church. We think it's important to laugh. And then I've got the school talk, and I got the comedy magic, and I got just the strolling stuff and just other stuff that I do. I feel like it's maybe if I was just doing stand-up magic, I would focus on new stuff and rotate.
Yeah, I can see where it can be a little bit overbearing sometimes to try to fit everything in and rewrite your show.
And I'm kind of used. I get frustrated because I'm thinking, is that an excuse, David? You could be sitting down writing something right now, and I do though really love it when I come up with something new. Like my newest, it's pretty solid as of right now, is the Russian roulette stabbing.
Yeah,
nailed it by Scott Alexander. And what I did, I bought the trick. I love the trick. I love the idea of these Russian roulettes, but it never really fits my show because it's scary. And I gotta make this fun. I gotta make this exciting. So what I do now is after I stab the first bag, I tell them that I'm not getting the kind of reaction I want. I don't feel like these people care that I might put a spike through my hand. So I put on a cute little hand puppet of a bear and he comes to life and personality, and I'm smashing him down and bring a little finger puppet, and it's sad. And I got a video online somewhere I posted.
See, I think that's what makes you stand out as one of like a creative, innovative type magician, because you think outside the box in that situation. I do a Russian roulette but I use staple guns and do the whole, staple hand. Thank you for not ruining my sex life, all that stuff. But that type stuff. But I'd like to take it a little further.
Yeah, well, that was with the hand puppet. I was really happy with, because I at first thought of bringing out, and it still could happen, but I thought about bringing out like a full size puppet and smashing his face down on the thing. And then I thought, well, let's try it with this little hand puppet. It's fun. It's one of those things where every performance I do it, I learn something new, something else funny. And that's a lot of times the way I write is it happens organically. And then I'll add that to the show the next time, as opposed to sitting down and thinking, okay, this would be a funny line. This would be a funny line. Cause I really don't write much. I don't want, and that's something I've seen with a lot of magicians is, if I nothing against writing, that's how you write. That's
right.
That's important. But I'm afraid it will become, if I write too much and I try to memorize it, I don't want it to sound like I'm repeating a routine or repeating lines it's like if you watch a comedian, he's saying the same jokes that he's said for the past year, for the tour that he's been on, but it doesn't feel like it. A lot of times when you see magicians and you hear them saying their lines, it sounds like it's rehearsed and I try my best to stay away from that. I try. I'm sure there's plenty of times when I've said lines that people probably think he's said that many times before.
Well, I think you, like myself, you're way better at it, but you've been blessed with the ability to ad-lib and to adjust and to react to different situations quickly. And I think that's the true signs of genius.
Well, thanks. So, I need to have you talk to my wife.
Okay.
And that's the thing. That goes back to me just not caring. And for lack of better words, is like if I say something that's not funny, I don't care. I'll just go on to the next funny thing. Yeah. So I don't mind just saying stuff. And there's plenty of times when I'll say something on stage that may not get the laugh I think it should have.
Right.
I just don't care. I just go on. So I don't mind riffing and making things up as I go along. And it's blast. I think it's fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think
it's hotter than normal today.
Is it? We're actually getting ready to have a big thunderstorm here. I guess we got a couple of hurricanes coming up.
This is hotter. What I mean. This is.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
No, it feels good. I'm in my basement. It feels good down here.
Gotcha. So your penguin lecture was probably one of the most well received lectures out on the. It was crazy when it came out, because not that they just they threw it on you, but I just felt like you were. I don't know if you really were. It's not that you weren't ready. It's just.
Oh, I wasn't prepared at all. It was funny because I had never, I'd been to so many Penguin lectures because they're right here in Columbus. They're like 45 minutes from me. And then Sean over there at Penguin called me on a Monday, and he's like, hey, you know how we call you last minute to do stuff? Because they'll call me and ask me to fill in for Dan every once in a while. And I'm like, yeah, I know how you do that. He goes, you want to do your show tomorrow and lecture on Wednesday? And I said, no. Nope, I don't want to. He said, what? I said, there's nobody wants to see what I do. I said, I really don't have, I have no magician foolers at all. So why would any magician want to pay to see my show? And then he said, well, you get paid and you'll make royalties. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I went down the next day, and, you do it live for a real audience the first day. And that went great. And I knew I was going to have a blast with that. And then I woke up, and I mentioned this in the talk with Dan.
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning knowing that I had to go in and talk with him about the show. And it's just going to be me and him sitting in there. And I remember waking up thinking, I think I do like 2 sleight of hand moves in my whole act. No magician is going to care about this at all. They're going to be like, this was a waste of money because I didn't learn anything. And so I was like, I got to be honest about it when I get there with Dan and just crack a joke about it. And he was super awesome. Dan's great at doing that.
Dan's a genius too.
Yeah,
I mean, he
blows my mind with how much he knows, and just he made me, not that I was nervous, but he made me feel good about the show and being, not necessarily feeling good about the show, but feeling good about actually lecturing the show.
Right. Yeah.
I thought didn't want it. And so, they had it was about a month before it came out. I just think, oh man, I'm never going to be able to show my face in the magic community again, because this is going to get ripped apart. And I'm just going to have to defend myself like, hey, I'm sorry. They just needed somebody to fill in for them. I didn't mean to take your money from you and make you not learn any magic tricks. And it got really good response because of the show and the comedy. And it honestly, I was very happy, and it actually made me feel bad, because I was thinking that I thought, well, the magic community isn't going to care about anything. They just want to learn new tricks. And it wasn't like that at all. They were like, It was nice to see somebody put together a funny show and learn some of the ins and outs.
I think we're starting to turn the page as magicians, where we're not that, okay, I'm a stuck up magician. I'm not going to show you anything. And I want to know the process and the theory behind it.
Right.
I think we're actually more now concentrated on the true performance of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your lecture, and I think Luke Germain's lecture are the two that I've seen multiple times. And it's just, especially when I'm like, I need to laugh. So
yeah. Well, thanks. I have so much fun with that show. It is so much fun. What I do, 4 or 5 tricks in that, and every one of them I have an absolute blast with.
Yeah.
I mean, just the third hand gag, that first really big laugh I get.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in a band for a while, not a good band. I was the lead. I told you I had the long hair.
Yeah.
So I was the lead singer in this band. And when I got the job, a guy came up to me at a concert and said, hey, you want to audition for my band? I'm like, I don't play an instrument. He goes, no, we're looking for a singer. And I said, I can't sing to save my life. He said, well, you look like a rock star. Come sing. So I ended up getting the gig. But that feeling of walking on stage and being a rock star, it's kind of the same feeling when you get that first real solid laugh early on in the show. I love it.
That's incredible. So with the lecture, you've inspired a lot of people, a lot of magicians. I mean, even the old guys like myself. I mean, it kind of sparked us to reinvent ourselves and revisit what we do. Awesome. And try to spice it up. So I applaud you that. But is there someone or something that inspires you to create, or to when you go out and perform, or just in life in general?
It's funny. I love music. And right now I'm a country music guy now. I like some pop music, a little pop music. The guys in 21 Pilots, I know them because they're from around here. So that might be actually the only current pop music that I like. Still stuck in the 80s, all the 80s music. And
it was the best decade.
Oh,
let's just be honest.
Absolutely.
I mean,
playing cards with the family last night. We had on Dion radio from the early 60s. I just love music. So what I do is if I go see a concert or hear a really good song, it inspires me to be better at what I do. There's bands that I've discovered. There's a band called the Wild Feathers that are kind of like a modern Eagles, really good harmonies, just kind of good Americana rock and roll. And when I see them and I hear those harmonies, I'm like, man, this makes me want to be better at magic. I know that sounds weird.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to look at it because, and I know you met Michael. He's one of our friends here, Michael from Building 429. And it's just when I see him, not perform because I've seen him perform, but just when you watch his stage presence behind the drums and what he does, it just kind of like, okay, because if you know Michael on a personal level, he's very quiet and reserved, but when he's rocking, he's just like, man, you know, so I can see where that would inspire.
Yeah. Anytime I see a good performance, and it could be even a good TV show, a good writing and TV show. Like right now I'm rewatching Community. Which I saw, I watched that when it was on 10 years ago or whatever and loved it, but never really watched it again. I started over and man, that writing is brilliant. And it makes me want to be funny. And so outside of magic, I get a lot of inspiration just to try to be better at what I do.
Yeah. I can definitely see that, especially in your performances and how I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're seeking out people laughing, having a good time is probably a huge inspiration as well.
Yeah.
So with all this, the magic and the MC, the hosting, the speaking, the comedy, why do you do it all?
Well, the real quick reason is because it pays. It's how I pay. I don't have a normal job now. So, but it's all in front of people. I consider it all entertainment. So when somebody asks me what I do for a living, I say an entertainer, and then I can go into everything I do. But the cool thing about doing so many different things is I don't get burnt out on one thing. So if I was just a close-up magician and that's all I did for a living, even if you love it, at times you'll be like, I just don't want to do another card trick. But because I can do card tricks, and then the next day I'm speaking at a high school, and the next day I'm doing a stand-up show, and the next day I'm doing an interview with Building 429, and there's so many different things that keep me doing new stuff to make it feel like I'm not getting burnt out on anything.
Keeps you fresh. Keeps it all fresh for you.
Yeah, and I really, really like that. I mean, I'm lucky to get to do what I love to do for a living, and in all honesty, I really think it's because of the magic. The magic that I learned when I was 20. I started doing the TV show, the 10 Most Wanted TV show when I was 28 or so. But I think it's the magic that I was doing in front of people and building a personality and having fun around people that led to everything. Everything that I do was because of the magic that I learned and had me in front of people.
That is awesome.
Owe a lot to magic.
Fantastic. That's exactly. I think that's where a lot of us come from as magicians as well. It's just that. So, are you ready to take some shots?
Yeah.
Let's do some shots.
Okay. All right.
So here we go. So, guys, basically, we're going to just give Dave 2 items, and we'll see which one he likes better. All right. Starting with number 1. Okay. Magic or comedy? See, I knew it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna
shots is not. You know what? Every time we do shots with people, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's easy." And then once we get into it, I throw that one curveball, and they just get baffled.
I want to pick one because the easy answer would be like what I just said. Like, if I get burnt out on one thing, I can go to the other. So if I'm watching too much magic, then I'll just turn on a stand up and watch them for a while. But if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going to say I'd probably have to go with magic, because especially if it's magic that fools me, that's one thing about us being magicians. We lose that moment of wonder because we know everything, and that stinks. I love being fooled. I love sitting down and watching Danny Day Ortiz or tamarinds because they fry me. But
everybody wants to be a magician until they become a magician. Then like, oh, it's ruined.
Yeah. Now I know everything. Or I think I do. But then also with the magic, you can get joy out of it. So if you're getting joy out of comedy, you can still get joy out of magic. So I'd have to go, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd go with magic.
Magic. Okay.
As much as I like comedy.
I know. Well, you know what? These questions are not easy, my friend.
Yeah,
not easy.
Good.
So Motley Crue
Uh-huh.
or Guns N' Roses?
Motley Crue. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Guns N' Roses, but Motley Crue was glammier, and I was really into the glam type rock and roll. Poison, Motley Crue, Warrant.
Yeah.
But I really did like Guns N' Roses too. As a matter of fact, I got a Guns N' Roses t-shirt in there.
I think we all have. I think guys our age, we have to have that.
Yeah.
You know, we wear it under our blazer and everything. So.
Yep.
Okay, if you had one superpower, would it be X-ray vision or super strength?
Strength.
Strength?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. X-ray vision, other than turning me into a pervert. Although X-ray vision, well, I guess you can. I'm trying to think how to make a living with it. If you have X-ray vision, man, what kind of magician would you be?
Oh
how
my
amazing
gosh.
would that be? And just not tell them that you have X-ray vision. Just use it as. I guess you could tell them you have X-ray vision. It's still impressive. It's still magic. Yeah. I think I'd go with super strength though. Probably super because strength? I've always been a skinny little runt. Kinda. I put on some weight during COVID, but
wow.
And like right now, my kid has me. My stepson is 30, and he's been working out. He is ripped. But he's 6'4", 6'5", 6'4".
Good Lord.
And he's built. And so he's like, hey, you should start working out with me. I'm like, yeah, sounds good. So I'm 2 days now. 2 days I've done it. We did legs on Friday, which was 2 days ago. And walking down the steps to get down here, I screamed the whole way down.
Oh, it's brutal. And trying to sit on the toilet is just ruthless.
You're the second person to mention that.
Oh, God. It's like you just fall.
Yeah.
Because I work out on a regular basis, but I don't do legs as much as I should. I did legs the other day, and I was just in pain.
And I'm telling you, it wasn't even a lot of weight. And I think some of it was just the movement.
Oh yeah,
moving in ways that I hadn't moved forever. Man, I'm hurting.
You're hurting.
Yeah.
Well, I got two more for you. Okay. We got Big Mac or Whopper.
Big Mac.
Big Mac? Oh my gosh, the special sauce. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't like Burger King.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I really hope they don't think about being a sponsor of the show at any time, because I can't go back and I want to edit it.
Yeah, so, I am not a Burger King fan at all. Yeah.
So last one: romantic comedies or action films?
Action, but maybe not by a lot. Because I like the comedy, of course. And if you can get a good one that's not too chick flicky, there's nothing wrong with it. I love like Notting Hill. I think Notting Hill.
Notting Hill was great. Hugh Grant and
that scene where he says "Oopsie Daisy."
Oh yes.
She said, "You said oopsie daisies." I'm like, no, I didn't. And he does it again and says, "I laugh out loud." I just like that story of kind of him meeting somebody famous and her falling for him. Man, that's a total chick flick, but I love that movie. It's a good movie.
Well, Dave, we just took some shots. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Good. Awesome. Good. Fantastic. So we're going to do last call right now.
Okay.
The last call. I'm going to give you one last question, Dave.
Okay. All right.
When you are done with everything, with the magic, with the MC, and you're retired, what do you want people to say about you?
I want them to say, if it's just as simple as that's a good guy, he's a good guy, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
I try to, outside of the making people laugh and fooling people, I just want people to feel better when I'm around or after I've left. I was going to say something. Oh, it was good too. I promise it was going to be awesome what I was getting ready to say. dang it. What was I going to say? Oh, shoot. I'll think of it at some point. I'll have to text you later.
To you.
Yeah.
You know,
but
I just, and you're one of those people, and you take time out for everyone. You know, you've helped me in many cases. Go ahead.
That's it. It came.
Okay. Good.
So I do the TV show here in town. Or in Ohio. It's a game show for the Ohio Lottery. It's called Cash Explosion. Every once in a while, I get noticed, and usually what it is somebody will see me and say, "Oh my gosh, are you the guy from Cash Explosion?" Yeah. My grandma loves that show. Is what I get most of the time. And it's funny. They're like, would it be all right if we take a picture with you? And I'm like, why don't we shoot a video so I can talk to your grandma and you can send her the video? And people are like, will you really do that? You don't have to do, will you really? I'm like, yeah, why would I not do that? You know, if that's going to make your grandma happy and yeah, so I would love to become famous so I could be like known as a really good guy. If that makes sense.
No, you know what? And like I was saying, you are, I mean, you're one that will reach out and help people. And I think that speaks volume of what type of person you are. I know you got a big heart. I know you're very, you know, you just want to help. You just want to make people feel better. And I applaud you for that. And I thank you for that. So we're going to close your tab.
All right.
And by closing your tab, what we can do is you just go ahead and let people know how they can book you if they want to book you, where they can reach you, where they can follow. This is your time to promote yourself.
Okay. Well, I am awful at this. I'm so bad with marketing. So
it doesn't worry. It would be about 30 people watching. So it's, you know.
That's awesome. So if you my website is stuffdaviddoes.com. My email is david@stuffdaviddoes. If you go to YouTube and just type in David McCreary, you can find a bunch of videos of me interviewing people and having fun. And I say interviewing people.
Not that I don't want to barge in or just,
no, it's good.
Your stuff. I first became aware of you during Plucked.
Oh yeah.
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 I thought it was incredible. I mean, Chris Mayhew in the pool.
In the pool. Yeah. David
Kent.
McCreary is Exposed. That's what it was called. Yeah. Which was just, you know, we have the Magi Fest here in town. And I thought, I want people to see like the magicians I hang out with. So we kind of did these kind of like between two ferns, that kind of awkward interview type thing. And we shot a bunch of them at Magi Fest, and we did it for a couple years, and yeah, they were a lot of fun. And I got to do one with Rob Zabrecki. Have you seen his show?
Oh my gosh. I've seen his lecture.
Okay. His show is fantastic. I absolutely love that guy, and a super nice guy. I interviewed him the 1 year at Magi Fest. It was the year that I saw him for the first time, and he walked out on stage and did his show. And I laughed out loud the entire time. I just sat there thinking, this guy is absolutely brilliant. And he's a magician like me, where he didn't do any magician foolers, but his show was good. Right. And then like I saw him like 3 years later, he came back to Magi Fest and he remembered my name, and just super nice guy. I just bought his book a couple days ago. He's got a book out, not a magic book. It's his memoirs. And
I think I'll go look that up, because I think he's a genius.
It's called Strange Cures. Strange Cures, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's, you know, right. I'm 35 pages in because I just got it. But I had a chance to meet him and interview him. And again, the interview I did with him is a little more straightforward, because I just met him. I didn't have anything planned for him, and we did an interview in a stairwell, and yeah, he's fantastic.
Well, good. And Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, just
people want to go?
Yeah, David McCreary. Just at David McCreary for Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I have a comedy and magic of David McCreary, but I really don't do anything on it. I've posted a couple things on there, but my personal David McCreary is the one I'm on most of the time. I try to not get on and surf, but I do, and it drives me crazy.
I know.
I just want to post stuff to make people laugh. Yeah.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining us today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I love David McCreary so much, and I love you guys. Guys, I will see you on the next episode of Tipsy Talk.
See y'all.